Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Only two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right, a single experiment can prove me wrong. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Logic will get you from A to B, imagination will take you everywhere. Peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. The only source of knowledge is experience. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy and creative expression and knowledge. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. If you are out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit and a violin, what else does a man need to be happy? The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Logic will get you from A to Z, imagination will get you everywhere. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Never memorize something that you can look up. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. Once you can accept the universe as matter expanding into nothing that is something, wearing stripes with plaid comes easy. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Black holes are where God divided by zero. Everything must be made as simple as possible. But not simpler. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. We dance for laughter, we dance for tears, we dance for madness, we dance for fears, we dance for hopes, we dance for screams, we are the dancers, we create the dreams. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. It would be possible to describe everything scientifically, but it would make no sense, it would be without meaning, as if you described a Beethoven symphony as a variation of wave pressure. Love is a better master than duty. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. We all know that light travels faster than sound. That's why certain people appear bright until you hear them speak. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. Nothing happens until something moves. Out of clutter, find simplicity. Our task must be to free ourselves. By widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. It has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are incapable of forming such. A true genius admits that he or she knows nothing. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. If there is any religion that could respond to the needs of modern science, it would be Buddhism. If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. My religion consists of a humble admiration of the illimitable superior spirit who reveals himself in the slight details we are able to perceive with our frail and feeble mind. Life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. The revolution introduced me to art, and in turn, art introduced me to the revolution. When I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than any talent for abstract, positive thinking. It is my view that the vegetarian manner of living, by its purely physical effect on the human temperament, would most beneficially influence the lot of mankind. Laws alone cannot secure freedom of expression. In order that every man present his views without penalty, there must be spirit of tolerance in the entire population. When the solution is simple, God is answering. One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science, measured against reality, is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. We know from daily life that we exist for other people first of all, for whose smiles and well-being our own happiness depends.